What's up, Big D?
Not much, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. I just got off a vacation and I am ready to talk
Yeah,
Tubi.
I'm ready. I'm ready too, man. We got Mean Streets down last time, and now we're ready to talk about another noir type film that I absolutely can't say it's one of my all-time faves or anything, but it's darn good. It is darn good,
I think
in
I
my
mean,
opinion.
yeah, I think it's I don't know. I think it's great. I don't know. It's just a very cool concept. So,
Then that's where it sells. We're talking about Memento,
yep.
Christopher Nolan's second film.
What was his first?
His first one was kind of a lower budget black and white, which I highly recommend. I just watched it recently. Guess where?
Tubi.
Yes. And it's called Following, and this guy kind of breaks into people's houses. And anyway, there's a twist, and it was very, very good. Nice little indie. And then, it was after that. Memento was after that.
Yeah, man.
But,
So,
but it has that whole slow style. It's done all black and white, and it's really good actually. It's better than I thought it would. I liked it more than I thought I would.
I have to check it out.
And we'll talk about Nolan here as time goes on, as we discuss. Some highs and lows for me, man. Memento is one of the highest.
Yeah. I mean, I really couldn't find a lot to goof on this movie. You know what I mean, or find anything that really like. I mean, I will say. And I feel like this is a lot with a lot of his movies, because he's so good at like building that story. I feel like the middle always gets a little bit like
Drawn.
a little bit monotonous. You know what I mean? So, but not in a way where I don't want to see it. It's just like it just feels long. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Memento starts following that path until they make some kind of decent revelations.
Yeah.
But the story itself, dude, it's like pretty simple. Not
Yeah.
much to it, but the way it's told, the way he tells it from beginning to end. I wonder how he wrote it, man. I wonder if he wrote it like that, or you could almost write it. I was thinking you could write it linear from beginning
Right.
to end,
Yeah.
and then cut. I don't know how he wrote it. I mean, you would have to change things, but even filming and everything, like just so everybody knows where they're at. I don't know how he wrote it, but
it got a little bit like, I mean, it's definitely like, so if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, it sort of plays in reverse.
Yes, there's going to be spoilers here. These movies are really old.
Yeah, if you haven't seen them, then shame on you. If you haven't watched the movies and you're watching this podcast, then
don't say it.
Shame
what
on
were you
you.
going to say?
I was going to say shame on you.
I thought you were going to say pause it and watch it and then come on back.
No, I'm not going to say that. Like if you got the time to listen to us talk about it, you should have already had the
which
time.
we appreciate greatly. I mean, we'll see. We appreciate it.
Oh yeah, of course.
But we talk to each other because no one else will listen.
That's true. I don't know.
But yeah, so to Memento, Guy Pearce.
Yeah, and so go ahead.
No, what's his name?
Leonard.
Lenny, right?
Yeah.
Leonard Shelby, ex-insurance investigator.
Yep. Yes, and
he wakes up every 15 minutes and then has no idea where he is.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Finding Nemo, the one character.
I've never seen that one. I never had a kid.
It's the Ellen DeGeneres character. She just kept forgetting everything. So anyway,
I'm sure. Anyway, what's his name? Shelby, insurance investigator. He has a condition. He can't remember anything. I don't want to say whenever it's convenient for the plot.
Yeah.
But he seems to cut out at the best times, and he comes back at. I don't have a huge problem with it because it kind of he stays consistent with it.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't have a huge problem. Was he talking to Joe Pantalone on the phone?
Yes, he must.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think Joe Pantalone is like, he's great.
One of the best.
He's amazing.
He's in the Goonies.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Come on.
Yeah, he's in the bad guy.
He's in all. Oh man, Joey is awesome. He's in all kinds of stuff.
Also, The Sopranos. He was in The Sopranos.
He was. Anyway, Joey Pantalone's. Matrix. He plays Teddy, i.e. John G. Jonathan Detective Jonathan A. Gilliam or something like that is his name.
Yeah.
So with the condition, he forgets Guy Pearce, Leonard Shelby, he forgets everything in intervals, maybe like 15 minutes or so. So he makes notes for himself, writes tattoos all over his body to remind himself of his mission, which is
to find John G.
Who
murdered and raped his wife.
Who raped and murdered his wife. So that's where he's at. And you, as a viewer, kind of wake up with him. You're kind of right there with him. That's why I kind of like the storytelling. You find out as he finds out.
Right.
Even though he knows everything, so it gets crazy. So he knows it's. I don't know. I don't know if you really want to go into scene by scene.
No, yeah. I mean,
I don't think that's quite necessary. Let's talk more about each character and their involvement. I think that would be a little easier for me.
Yes.
So the first person he meets is the first person we meet, I think, is the motel clerk.
Yeah, I forget his name.
And that's also where his name's Bert.
Yeah.
I just remember Bert. And that's where we also get a glimpse of, that's where he tells him, we find out about his condition.
Right, yeah.
He describes how he can't remember anything. And then we meet Teddy. And
yes.
Played by Joey Pants, who we were just talking about.
Yeah, and he's definitely like probably the second most important character in the story, because he's definitely well aware of Leonard's situation, even though Leonard forgets that he is. So he's doing a lot of driving the narrative throughout the story.
Were you wondering why he was helping him? I was like, why? Okay, why is he helping him? He's not getting money out of it. Why is he helping him? He's got a guy in a closet. Why is he helping him?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, but he plays it so well that you kind of know from the get-go that he's not trustworthy, even though he's acting like he's very, like he's his friend. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like,
yeah, I figured he was the Vegas lowlife.
Oh, okay.
Like kind of a Vegas lowlife who had nothing better to do, but once you find out what he really is, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Of why he keeps showing up. I like the nameplay of Jimmy G and John G. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But do you want to just cut right to spoilers? Well, we
Sure.
already are. We already talking about it. The fact that after it all gets broken down, interwoven, you find out that he already killed the real guy who murdered and raped his wife, supposedly.
So do you think
it's still a little confusing?
Yeah. So
that's why I wanted to try to work it out.
So really the whole movie boils down to the last 10 minutes where Teddy breaks it down for Leonard.
Right away, though, this is their first meeting. That's where it gets confusing.
Right. Yes.
He breaks it all down for him the first time he meets him. He breaks it all down for him, but we don't know the way it's told backwards.
Yeah. Oh, so I assume Teddy's been.
Oh no, it wasn't their first meeting.
It was the first. No, it wasn't the first meeting. That's what I was going to say. I assumed that Teddy had been playing this game with Leonard for years. You know what I mean? Like basically robbing people, convincing him that this was.
Oh, because he was the detective on his case.
Yeah, but then also I wonder, is that true? Like, was he lying about that? Like, was he the John G? You know what I mean?
Well, if you see on his leg, it says John or James, and was it coincidence that the dealer's name was Jimmy?
Yeah, well, yes. I wonder.
How did they get to the dealer? I forget how they got him to the dealer. They got him to kill the dealer.
Right, because Teddy basically drove him to believe that this was the guy that did it. And so I wonder if he just said it was John. It was just, you know what I mean? Maybe it was convenient to say maybe it's not John. Maybe it's James. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yes, Nolan. You bore me and mesmerize me at the same time. Speaking of boring, did you see what was the one? Not I didn't like Inception. Bored. And then the latest one that came out before Oppenheimer was interesting, but it had to do with time slowing down. I forget what it was called. Denzel Washington's son played in it.
I mean, I think the Batmans were the last ones I really saw of his.
It was cool, but midway through, I'm going, why? I don't know what's going on. I don't know why they're fighting each other. There was something about time reversal. Another gimmick of I can't even remember, but yeah, yeah. One of my favorites of his was the World War II Dunkirk. That was good.
Yeah, I did enjoy that too. That continuous. What wasn't continuous?
Well, that was 1917.
Right.
That one. That was by the guy who did American Beauty. I think. I forget. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, no, it wasn't one continuous shot. That was 1917.
I guess. But it was that.
Dunkirk was on the boats, and on the boat, and it gets sunk during. I don't know.
But there was like no dialogue, right? Like it was almost like. Wasn't that the one? Was Tom Hardy in that one?
No, The Revenant.
Nah, I'm thinking because Tom Hardy was a. Huh?
You thinking of The Revenant with Leonardo? That was not a lot of dialogue Hardy had in that.
No. Tom Hardy was the pilot that kind of sacrificed himself to save. Maybe I'm thinking of a different movie.
You're thinking of Dunkirk.
Yeah.
That's Dunkirk.
Yeah. But I felt like it didn't have a lot.
I guess it did. It felt like one long battle scene once it started, kind of.
Because they were evacuating and yeah.
They're evacuating the boats, and I don't know. But yeah, that's good. Did you see Oppenheimer?
I did not yet. I want to. It's
yeah.
No.
Right. You kind of know what happens at the end, and it's like Titanic. I didn't want to see that either.
Yeah.
But like great performances, beautiful filmmaking, all that. But I made it about an hour and 20 minutes.
Really? Wow.
It could have just been the mood I was in. I don't know. It's good, but it slows down. It takes a minute to get there. But, it's an Oscar winner, so I don't really watch Oscar winners all that often.
Oh, really? That's the only movies I watch.
I couldn't even tell you what was nominated this year. I used to know that stuff. I just don't care. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, same.
I know. I think Nolan won. I know Oppenheimer won Best Picture.
I know it was like between them and Barbie, and they, I think, destroyed Barbie throughout.
I don't want to talk about it.
About Barbie?
Not really. No, I'm kidding. Barbie's great.
I like it a lot.
I will say one thing, man. If they make good movies, Hollywood has a big thing going on where they're not making loot. We'll get back to Memento here in a second, but they have a big thing going on where they're not, making money. They're making garbage that no one wants to see. So I give Barbie props. They've got women and men in droves out to the theater, which doesn't happen very often. Just ask Disney.
Right. Yeah. It was one of the few movies I've seen in the theater in several years.
Oh, Barbie?
Yeah.
You liked it?
It's because my wife actually wanted to see it. Yeah, I liked it.
My wife went with her friends. I mean, all the women, it got people to the theater.
Yeah.
Good for them. They need to remember why people want to go to the movies anyway.
Yeah, they want to be entertained.
I think, was there a little bit of, I don't want to say
I know.
But
what were we going to say?
Was there a little bit of like anti-man stuff in it or no?
I mean, yes, there was definitely that undercurrent, but like that definitely did not affect my that was not how I did not feel like I was being beat over the head with it. I thought it was
that doesn't bother me, and it kind of makes sense in a Barbie movie. I hate when it's in Star Wars and when it's in all other things where it just you're like, what? Wait a minute, why is this in here? Anyway.
No, I mean it was, and honestly, I wonder like Ryan Gosling and Ken are the main thing anyone's talking about. So did this whole thing just backfire on them? Where it was
won the Oscar. I wonder why Robbie. I don't know why Margot Robbie was even nominated. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, wow,
very weird.
Yeah,
because she's a good. I mean, that is that is strange. Good for them for making a movie.
Yeah, I mean
that people went to see. I think the last one before that maybe was Top Gun.
Oh.
That made money.
Oh, okay.
A bunch of money in the theater that year. I don't know.
Did you see the new Top Gun?
Yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah. Oh, it was good. It was good. Tom Cruise might be a lot of things, but this might be the last movie I see of his because I don't know if I can overlook the Scientology anymore. I think I'm done. I don't think I can overlook it.
Yeah, but
unless he makes like a movie with Tarantino, then I'd go see it. But there must be some reason why they haven't worked together yet. I don't know. You wonder.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's one of those guys where I can't stand him, but then when I see him in something, I'm like, well, he is good.
Man, he knows how to make. He knows how to make movies, man. He's good.
I'm tired of him talking about the stunts that he does. It's like, I don't care. Like, do the stunts, but we don't need to like have 20-minute documentaries based on the stunt that you did in every movie.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. You do your own stunts.
It is pretty incredible though. He's pushing he's elderly.
Well, yeah,
he's pushing 60.
Yeah, but it's because of Scientology.
Oh, right, and the baby's blood.
Right.
That they bathe in.
He runs clear, my man.
Oh, we could get into that. But anyway, so that's Joey Pantalones, Teddy / John G, the detective.
Yeah.
Who really is, he is the driving force. One of them, him, and we're going to talk about Carrie Ann Moss. Her name is Natalie.
Yep. Who is...
Pretty girl. I was looking at her. She's very pretty.
So she's done two things I know of. This and The Matrix.
Yeah.
What else has she done?
She's done some other indie things, but I don't think I don't know. I don't know either.
I feel like she became Matrix was her like action hero thing.
Yeah.
She just sort of disappeared.
I know this came out shortly around the Matrix time.
It must have, because Joey Pants was also in The Matrix.
No, I wonder that too. Yeah, there's got to be some kind of connect.
Yeah. So.
With whether it's an agent
or
who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, so I saw this movie when I was like I don't know, like closer to 2000 when it was made. And my memory of it when we went to go back to watch it was that Natalie and Teddy were actually working together. So it kind of, I was pleasantly surprised that I completely remembered it.
Completely missed it.
You know what I mean? So
I like that. Yeah, she comes off sympathetic at first and then just turns into a real bee, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, but then you find out why. Basically he killed her like the what's his name? James, the drug dealer. Yeah.
Jimmy the drug dealer.
Yeah, was her boyfriend
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. So that's why. So she knows that Jimmy was going to go meet with Teddy and Jimmy never came back. And then Leonard.
That's when he kills him in the basement of that industrial place.
Yeah. So then I don't understand this. Why did Leonard take his clothes? Like he took his clothes before he knew, like, because basically he planned. Then he realized that Teddy was like.
I assumed he took his clothes because there was going to be massive blood splatter.
Okay. And then he took his car.
I wouldn't either, yeah. Yes, he's driving around Jimmy's car the whole time.
Yeah.
There's even one scene where Joey Pantalones goes, you don't know nothing, man. Where'd you get that suit? Look at the car you're driving. You don't know anything. It's pretty cool.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, he takes his identity almost. Right. So he's driving around still psycho, still looking for the killer, and he'll never find him.
Right.
Or remember that he did.
Yeah.
So she knows that she can use him to get rid of the cop.
Right. Who
Joey
essentially you think she's the bad guy because she
is.
Well, she is, but she's also she's working in like she's got it's vengeance, you know what I mean? Like she's out to get the guy that killed her man, you know what I mean? So they're all just using Leonard as a tool of murder. They're all just like
because Joey the detective he's the one who turned him on to killing Jimmy, correct?
Right, because he convinced him that he was
she has him kill Teddy, or AKA, and Teddy is the real name that he goes by, the nickname. He goes by Teddy
because his mother calls him Teddy.
Right, but his real name was John G.
So I found it strange that in that moment. So so I don't know. I don't know if we're doing a good job of explaining this if we're not just talking to each other. But he gets to the end.
No, we're talking about characters here. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so,
hard. It's a hard one to get for me to rack my brain around. My brain doesn't work that way. I'm trying.
Yeah, it was definitely almost like homework. You know what I
mean? Yeah. But the revelations were very revealing. Every time he writes on the back of the photos, every time he puts another tattoo, revealed very intent. That's what I'm looking for. And I don't want to say. It's definitely the intent. You could tell what he was doing with the reveals. It was pretty cool.
Right.
It
yeah.
worked.
It
worked. So, and this movie came out. Well, when did it come out? Mid-90s.
No, 2000.
Oh, really?
Yeah, according to Tubi.
Oh yeah. Reservoir Dogs came out in '95, and yeah, this would be. I don't know why I base everything on that. I just remember because it seems like what a great time for movies back then. You had Tarantino, Christopher Nolan coming on. You had Richard Linklater making his movies. You had just a wide independent.
Yeah, it was definitely. I think it was like a magic moment of digital, but I guess like
when writing mattered.
Yeah.
When you had auteurs kind of like the 70s writing good scripts and making good movies.
Right.
And,
because it had to be a good.
There's
a good
few hanging on. Scorsese's hanging on, but he's still making long ones. I still haven't seen it yet, but I will. When it comes on Tubi, I'll probably watch it in 5 years or so. But so we hit all the main, right? It's just really, it is a triangle, really, then between Joe Pantalones, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Guy Pearce.
But it's really a volley. I feel like it's more like a volley where Guy Pearce is the volleyball between these two.
That's a better analogy. He's the volley. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're just using him as a weapon. You know what I mean? Like, so like it was very clever of her. Like I said, if you're watching this for the first time, you get to the part where she invokes him enough to slap her.
Like punches her in the face. Yeah.
Like what? Like this.
And
like she's clearly the bad guy, and then you realize like, oh no, she's hanging out with the dude that she knows that killed her guy, you know what I mean?
And he's on a rampage, really, just killing whoever.
Yeah,
because he can't remember.
But so he kills Jimmy, and then she's worried about Dodd, because Dodd is basically, I think, the guy who had gave Jimmy the money for the drugs that.
Oh yeah, they owe. That's who they owed. I was going to ask you where Dodd fit in. They owed Dodd the money.
Yeah.
So she wanted him to get rid of. She wanted him to get rid of the guy they owed money to, and the cop who was on to him.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So it was really.
Yeah. You're right. Carrie-Anne Moss is the bad guy. I mean, I know she was bad, or no, she's not really.
No, I don't. I think she's just the smart though. I think she was the clever one, and also so.
Guy Pearce is the bad guy.
Guy Pearce, like I said, he's kind of a weapon. Although, I do love that at the end. So basically, he gets explained to him, by Teddy what's going on, right? Like basically, you've already killed the guy. You just don't want to accept that you did because you can't accept that this is your life.
Yeah.
So Guy used himself. You know what I mean? He set himself up to put Teddy in his crosshairs, because before he forgot, he wrote down Teddy's license plate, basically setting himself up to go after Teddy, because I don't know, it's bonkers that he had this moment of clarity where he's like, I'm going to set myself on this track to get this guy because he's also John G. So, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, and they touch on the coincidence, actually, in the movie when Joe Pantalone says, like, John James, you know how many John G's there are in the world, man? Yeah. So they kind of, the coincidence of them having the same.
Yeah.
Or no, that's not a coincidence. Did they turn him on to the name John G to begin with? Where did he get the name John G again?
Well, I don't know if it was in the files or what, but that's probably why. So I'm guessing maybe the original guy was John G, right? Must have been.
Who? Wait, the first guy he killed?
Yeah. But well, like before we saw, like the main, like when he says you've already killed the guy that did this, you just don't want to accept it. You know what I
I
mean?
guess what I'm saying is I forget where he got the name John G in his head. That was the guy who murdered his wife.
I think it was in the either Teddy told him initially or it was in the files. You know what I mean? I'm guessing at some point they realized the actual guy was named John G.
Mm-hmm. A lot of John G's out there.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Is it worth a watch? Do we hit everybody? Yeah, that's pretty much everyone. The rest are just people who get caught up in the day-to-day. But definitely worth a watch for me.
100%. I definitely recommend it. And I feel like it's one of those movies that you will see at like bargain bins. You know what I mean? You ever go to like a dollar store or a Walmart and there's like and there's always copies of Memento, which makes you think this must not be a very good movie, but I think it's great, honestly. I mean, I'm with you. It's almost like homework, but man, oh man, it's like here's a guy that definitely trusts his audience. Yeah, I mean, who's like the audience isn't dumb. They're going to like want to stick with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even after the first couple scenes where you experience what he's going through and you kind of get the feeling of how things are going to be revealed. It's kind of cool. And then it drags a bit. And then the ending, boom, it's solid.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like a M. Night Shyamalan ending where you're like, aha! You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It's like In Life of Good.
Yeah.
Did not even see part 3 of that weird Unbreakable part 3, whatever that glass.
Unbreakable. I loved Unbreakable.
Breakable was cool. And I heard the second movie with who's that? Anyway, the actor, I forget his name. His name might be James too. He plays some kind of crazy nut. He turns out to be in the world of Unbreakable. What's his name? What's that?
Oh yeah,
James. James. Is his name James? No.
I don't
He's
know.
in Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah,
McAvoy. James McAvoy.
Oh, I would have never got that. But yeah, I did not see. Was that Split? Was that the thing? No.
Yes, because he had split personalities.
Yeah.
I just lost lighting. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh.
It's just because my computer turned off.
If it helps, I can't. It made no difference on my end.
Well, that's good.
I couldn't see a difference.
I'm doing pretty good not touching the table. It's going well.
Yeah.
It's going well. So that is Memento.
Yeah, I mean,
my favorite Christopher Nolan to this day.
Not
a huge fan, but it's my favorite.
Oh, you didn't like Batman or whatever? One of the Batmans? Didn't he do a Batman?
Definitely, this is his best movie.
All right. I didn't like Inception either.
Dark Knight Rises is awesome, but that's kind of different. I mean, not Rises, The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger, unbelievable.
Yes. So what do you think?
Not my favorite. This is better.
Why do you think? I feel like Guy Pearce was great. Why is he not in more stuff?
Oh, he was in a ton after this.
Oh, was he?
He was in a bomb called The Time Machine. I don't know why I remember that one. He had long hair. It just came out shortly after this. So I remember, that's the guy from Memento, the H.G. Wells movie. He was in, I was also thinking, he played the other detective who gets with Kim Basinger in LA Confidential, and him and Russell Crowe shoot at each other because of it. Do you ever see LA Confidential?
Yeah, that was a great. I love.
We gotta watch that one. But we need to talk about Heat, my friend.
All right, yeah, I have not started it yet. Who's the director?
Are you down to talk about Heat next time?
Absolutely.
All right, if you are, I loved it. I want to watch it again.
Who's the director of Heat? I don't even know.
Michael Mann. He made a movie called Thief, which I liked, with James Caan until it turned into a weird love thing. I got kind of boring, but he made Miami Vice.
Oh.
He made Miami Vice.
All right.
The show, the original show. So he's always done crime. He did Collateral with Tom Cruise. First movie shot on the super video that they use.
Oh, right.
With Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
I might need to watch that one again, where he's a cab driver, and I think he drives Cruise around to kill a bunch of people.
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I remember it.
He did the worst Thomas Harris adaptation of a Hannibal Lecter book called Red Dragon.
Oh.
He did it first for television, starring not Anthony Hopkins, but I forget who. He does fine. It's not Albert. He does fine, but he's not Anthony Hopkins.
Right.
But yeah, so he's done. He started in television, then worked his way up. So I'm excited to break into that one, buddy.
All right.
De Niro and Pacino on screen together for the first time.
Isn't Val Kilmer on that too?
Val Kilmer's awesome in it.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the documentary about Val Kilmer?
No, but I want to. I like him quite a bit.
Man, it's real sad.
Well, is he? He looks. That's how he looked in the movie. And he Doors. I love his Jim Morrison in Doors was.
Yeah, it was spot on. I mean,
no, Val Kilmer rules, man. I love Val. It's shame about the throat cancer and everything.
Yeah.
Is it good? Is it a good doc? Should I watch it?
Yeah, like I said, it's very sad, and it really it makes you understand like where he came from, and like he was just like full on like, I'm going to be an actor, and like really studied the craft. You know what I mean?
Well, it's weird. I mean, I know he looked young, but I mean, he made it pretty young, boy. He got in there with Real Genius. I remember Real Genius. And,
I love that movie. Yeah.
I watched. Did I tell you I watched Buckaroo Banzai?
No.
Oh, we're going to talk about it another time.
It's one of my favorites.
Well, maybe we should do a rewatch because I love its 80s excessive, whatever it is, whatever's going on here.
But it was almost like an 80s spoof. It was almost like it stylized the 80s in a way, but it was like in the 80s. You know what I mean? It was almost like it was self-aware of the scene.
I can't tell you, I said every one of this cast blew up about a year after.
It's a great movie. It's wonderful.
Anyway, great talking to you, buddy.
Yeah, you too, man.
Until Heat.
All right. Oh, wait. So what do you rate this one? Last time we did a rating.
Of a number?
I think we did like a grade. You gave
it's an A for me.
An A? Yeah, I'm gonna give it an A for sure.
All right, I like the grading. The grading works. I forgot what we did last night.
Well, yeah,
but now we'll remember.
Yeah. All right, you give it an A.
Buddy.
I give it an A. All right, man.
All right.
Good talking to you. All right, bye.